Back in Chicago Stadium, it is Game 3 of the best-of-7 between Detroit and Chicago. Downstairs here in the Chicago locker room area, as the players came out, Michael Jordan came by, didn't say a word, but he smiled big. I did stop Craig Hodges. He said, "Hey, Tim, we're ready. We're loose." Michael talked, not motivational, just normally. The coaches had a different demeanor. They want to stop the early Detroit run-out. They have to stop them early on the transition. They want more offensive boards. Upstairs, more than 19,000 await the fate of Chicago. Dick, QB?
All right, Tim. The lineups, no changes. Dennis Rodman, James Edwards, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, and Joe Dumars for Detroit. Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant up front with Bill Cartwright the center. John Paxson and Michael Jordan. Chuck Daly says, "I want to get through the emotional rush, hang in, and maybe steal one here." Tell you one thing, UB, if they steal one here today, they're on their way again.
Well, they say they played poorly in 2 buildings. I don't know what poorly means. They've won 9 out of 11 here, but he said that Chicago and the Portland building give them the most trouble.
The officials working Game 3 are Joe Crawford, Dick Bavetta, and Bernie Fryer. Chicago in white control.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Detroit can continue to stop Chicago's penetration off the dribble into the lane. A big factor up to date.
They go low to Cartwright. Grant tips it up and in. What about the other side?
Well, that's nice to see because we've seen very few of those. At the other end, Detroit, very methodical, will stay within what they're doing. A lot of pick and roll basketball, and then they will always make the extra pass.
They've been able to penetrate, the guards have. James Edwards, who's been ice cold, hits the first shot. He was fined $3,500 after being ejected in the 4th quarter for slapping Ed Neely, but was not suspended. Just the fine. Thomas the rebound. Jordan taking his first shot. Edwards is 2 for 2. They're getting him off early.
In games 1 and 2, Detroit is continuing to up-tempo, push the ball hard, and try to take advantage of one of the people not getting back.
Bulls have not gotten to the free throw line. Very few offensive rebounds compared to Detroit. Paxson is open for the jumper to tie it up.
See, Paxton and Grant and Bill Cartwright must be included in this offense today. They need shot opportunities in order to break the Detroit defense down.
In other words, other people have to step up, and they haven't yet in the series.
Well, it's hard to step up if you don't get any shot attempts, Dick.
6 on the shot clock. Edwards is 2 for 2. This is his first, and Pippen with the rebound.
Strong defense by Cartwright.
This is a very good half-court defensive team, the Bulls. Pippen tries to force the pass to Grant. Dumars is there. Bulls get back on defense. And Dumars misses long range.
See, we made the point. Chicago, once you penetrate into the lane, you have to know whether you got a shot opportunity or a pass.
Scottie Pippen.
Now, speaking of a pass, when they take away the lane, you have to find the free people and then knock down the open shot.
Pippen picking up Thomas on the switch. Isaiah Thomas is having a horrendous shooting first 2 games. And you know, sooner or later, he's going to explode. Bulls lead by 2. Jordan, Dumars smothers him in a pass. Joe Dumars is blanketing Jordan.
The main thing is when you play against Detroit is as soon as you make the catch, you have to be in a shooting position. The reason, they rotate and they attack you to try to intimidate the shooter.
Joe Dumars, the MVP of the finals last year, looks like he wants to wrap it up before he even gets that far this season. Edwards has hit 3 out of 4. He came in hitting only 31% from the field.
Well, they're determined to get him off. He said he's not injured. He's been getting the shots. He's just been missing.
Great pass from Cartwright to Grant. Smothered inside. Here come the Pistons. Crowd wanted a foul. Thomas penetrates and lays it in. Terrific defense, and then Thomas on the penetration.
Well, everyone wanted a foul, but you know, that's Detroit. Once you make a reputation of ferocious intimidation and shot blocking and you get there, you'll get away with a lot of physical bumping.
But at least it's good that the Bulls are looking that way to go inside early.
Absolutely, Dick. They're going down in there. That's a good sign.
Cartwright. And they'll call an offensive foul on Bill Cartwright with the elbow.
Well, Dick Pavetta is calling. Dick Pavetta is catching him on a clear out, and that's okay. Now here's Cartwright on the 2 plays ago. There's your double team. Nice pass, but you know when you get in there, you've got to go stronger than that opportunity by Graham.
Pistons continue to look for James Edwards.
And why not? He's off to a great start.
Paxson gets in there and commits the foul.
Well, you and I both know there's no way that these 3 referees are going to be right today anytime the call goes against Chicago Bulls.
That's why they call it a home court advantage if there is one. And the Bulls, by the way, are unbeaten 5-0 in postseason here. But they're going to have to stop the penetration, and I don't know whether the Bulls have people to stop Johnson, Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson from getting inside.
Well, they're a very underrated defensive team. They're pretty good. The only thing I didn't like is that they're not challenging the shot in the paint. The guys are getting off the shot rather easy.
Paxson loses the ball. Dumars and Thomas sandwiched him. 4 turnovers by the Bulls, and now Detroit commits their first turnover of the game.
Let's talk about the Bull turnovers, Dick. You see, that's why we said at the top of the show, it's such a big factor in this series that if you penetrate and you have no place to go and you end up in a turnover, Detroit's going to be in the open floor.
The Pistons won by 9 points in each of the first 2 games at the Palace. Joe Dumars having a tremendous series thus far, holding Chicago to 38% Detroit's defense. Notice that Chicago can't get 100. Johnson had 18 points and 8 rebounds. Although once again, Dumars with 27 and 31 leading scorer of both games.
Now you'll see the difference in the penetration. Here's a pick and roll. Now watch the rotator, Scottie Pippen, come in here, and you see how he steps away and allows the shot. You cannot do that anytime that you have guys who are challenging the rim, because at the other end of the floor, what is resulting is they are taking their body, cutting off your lane, and we're getting turnovers.
Here's pressure by Detroit.
Detroit in a 2-2-1 press.
Pippen going around Edwards, gets the basket, and draws the foul.
Bill Laimbeer had a good point. You know, he went right to Dick Pavetta and said he cleared me out with his left hand. Yes, he did. But he did get the shot up, and you'll see the attack. Now watch that left hand as it goes right out. Now there it is, and that's the only way that shot could have gotten off. But you know, Dick, you like the spirit of what Chicago's trying to do today.
Scottie Pippen with a 3-point play. And here comes the pressure, and this is what the Bulls used to some success in Detroit.
It's a 1-2-1-1 full court trap.
And they get it over to Edwards. They didn't use that much time off the clock, though, to get it across. They still have 12 seconds. Edwards against Cartwright. Basket, no basket.
No basket.
And they're going to call the foul against Dennis Rodman, setting a pick. Illegal pick on Rodman.
Well, that was an excellent call. Joey Crawford and Bernie Fryer both had it way before. And you'll see right here. Now, here it is here. Rodman hooked Paxson. The whistle was blown before the shot was taken.
By the way, the foul on Detroit, the other side was on Laimbeer that sent Pippen to the line. Horace Grant hits the shot, and the Bulls lead by 1.
As long as Chicago continues good shooting percentage on the perimeter, it will eventually loosen up everything underneath.
They're shooting 39 for the first 2 games, and Thomas hits a 3-point basket. Here's a guy who is shooting under 30% coming into this game, Isaiah Thomas.
Yes, but Zeke is home. Come on, come on.
He is home. Chicago is his hometown. Same for Mark Aguirre, who we'll see off the bench. 6:40 remaining in the first quarter. Edwards on Pippen now. Pippen runs into Laimbeer and scores anyway. Scottie Pippen playing a lot more aggressively to start this game than he did in the first 2.
Oh, he saw the mismatch.
Thomas, who penetrated for a couple of hoops early, misses the layup. Paxson all the way in. And Jordan and Rodman will jump it up on a held ball.
Watch out.
Little push. Rodman had pushed Jordan away, and Dick Pavetta gets Dennis Rodman out of there.
Now watch, here's Paxson really gone. Now what they're saying here is that Laimbeer is underneath, so you're not going to get a charge, and you're not going to get a block in that situation. He's underneath the rim.
Controlled by Detroit, but what we know already in this first quarter is that this is going to be a wild game.
Well, in high school and college, you would get either a charge or a block there, but in the NBA, that's an area that they call, as a matter of fact, they do not call a thing.
Whistle. No basket and a foul away. A legal defense called against the Chicago Bulls. But just the spirit of this first quarter indicates that we're in for a tight ball game today.
Yeah, I want to go back to that point about under the basket. What they do not want to do is to subscribe to getting underneath guys as they're flying in for the dunks, where you could have serious injury to players.
And a Bulls foul away from the ball. It'll be their second team foul. And Horace Grant committing his first. Under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tied at 13. Both teams shooting the same. 6 out of 10 from the field. Dumars can do no wrong. 27 and 31 points, and Joe Dumars now with his first basket.
Detroit is doing the pick and roll business and then opposite the floor. Excellent.
Jordan misses the rebound. Thomas. Paxson, his ankle a lot better than it was. It was a sprained ankle. They're going to call the offensive foul against the Pistons. Paxson hit the deck.
All right, now keep an eye on Michael Jordan, who's right in the center of your screen. Here's your back pick, see, and they're looking for Dumars on the opposite side of the floor.
Foul is on Edwards. Paxson looking a lot more spry in this game. Pistons with the ball and a 2-point lead.
Well, Chuck Daly's telling Isaiah, slow it down. Let's get in and call some definite half-court execution. They're going to play three-man basketball right now. Isaiah, Dumars, and Edwards.
Dumars in the paint. Lane Beer with Grant in his face. Grant really came at him, and that affected Lane Beer. So now the Bulls with a chance to tie it up. Jordan goes right around Dumars, and a beautiful move. His hip must be okay.
That
it would
was
have to
sensational. He changed hands beautifully and slithered right down inside and took on the big people.
First basket of the game for Michael Jordan. Comes with less than 4.5 to go in the first period. Into Rodman against Grant. Bulls doing a lot better job off the boards.
Not only that, Horace Grant has really been challenging the release of at least 3 shots, forcing them into misses.
Jordan hits a 3. And the Bulls are up by 3 points, their biggest lead. Both teams shooting the lights out thus far. Dumars. Grant with another rebound. This is Chicago's kind of tempo. Jordan looked like he was going to shoot, and I think Scottie Pippen thought he was going to fire.
Yep. Well, here we have Michael coming off. You'll see the beautiful change of the red. Now watch how he challenges Lambeer there with the left hand. The old advantage when you can shoot with either hand inside the painted area. That last pass by Michael was a little too hard in such a contested area.
Lambeer on the ground, Rodman going, and we'll have a Detroit foul. And it's going to be against Dennis Rodman, second on Dennis.
Keep an eye on Rodman on the back pick here now. See, he moved and he picked Paxson off. And I like what the referees are establishing here today. They are not allowing any moving picks on people, and that's terrific. And the players will adjust as we move along.
Dennis Rodman will move along to the bench and be replaced by Mark Aguirre, back home in Chicago, who has done well coming off the bench.
Well, Chuck Daly loves to keep guys so that they do not get their third in the first half.
Aguirre is guarding Scottie Pippen, and Grant lays it in. Aguirre is going to have his hands full defending against Pippen.
Well, there's a slight drop-off from defensive foot movement from Rodman to Aguirre. Okay.
And hand movement and body movement. That's true. Under 3 minutes to play in the first. Aguirre in there to score. Thomas gets inside again and draws the foul. No basket. Thomas already with 7 points to lead the Pistons and will go to the line, but there's a timeout.
Now watch as Pippen goes to the baseline. Enjoy the beautiful pass right there. How's that for finding a free guy?
But it looks like Isaiah Thomas is going to get cooking today. after 2 rounds of the Bell South Atlanta Golf Classic. On the leaderboard, Larry Mize has a 1-stroke lead over Howard Twitty. Nick Price also in there, and 4 tied at 6. Coverage will continue on CBS Sports with 3rd round action. But how about action on the floor during the timeout?
You know, we're trying to appreciate the moves of the adults who are running up and down here, but this guy's got it all.
Whitney Houston, who sang the national anthem, is captivated. He's darling. She gave a rendition of the anthem before the game that really set this place off, I think.
One of the loudest and longest ovations I've ever heard for any person singing a national anthem, and the quality was incredible.
John Sally is also into the game now for Detroit. By the way, Horace Grant has picked up his 2nd personal foul, but he stays in the game. The Bulls have scored the last 7 points over the last 3 minutes, but Thomas is on the line, shooting 2. Thomas coming back to Chicago. It's talked about how he wanted to play with the Chicago Bulls. He used to sneak into this arena. I think he's happy where he is.
I think so. You know, he shot so well in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. But, you know, he loves this building, and he usually plays well here.
Michael Jordan off the glass, and there's Horace Grant crashing the boards. Where have these guys been?
He is really alive today. That's his 5th rebound, and most important, his 2nd putback. That is something which has been missing throughout games 1 and 2.
Well, the Bulls are out rebounding Detroit on a 2-to-1 ratio right now. Far cry from the 2 games at the Palace. Doesn't go in for Thomas. Rebound by Scottie Pippen. This is the kind of game the Bulls want. Open court. Under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Pippen trying to take Aguirre in. Sally last touched it, and it's still Chicago's ball.
The main thing is not to force right now. Chuck Daly has his explosive offense out there. He has, you know, the 3 major subs, Vinnie Johnson, Sally, and Aguirre. And this is the unit which they've had a lot of trouble matching up with.
Grant goes out with 8 points and 5 rebounds and is replaced by rookie Stacey King from Oklahoma, who Phil Jackson said yesterday to us, our most successful post-up player against this team.
Well, early in the year, he would get the opportunities, but he was shooting in the low 30s. As the season wore on, familiarity of getting the ball. But they need him also on the boards, Dick. He's got to play big underneath.
Ball knocked away from Cartwright. Scottie Pippen misses on the other side, and Vinnie Johnson, who has entered the game. So the great bench that has made the difference now in their full force for the Pistons. Plenty of time on the clock. Working against Pippen is Aguirre. And he draws the foul nicely, and Scottie Pippen picks up his first foul, and that is the 4th team foul against the Bulls.
Mark Aguirre is such a great offensive player. You know, a lot of people, you know, you have a tendency to realize here's a guy who, you know, he's doing it right now, but look at this, 8 rebounds a game that he's averaged for this ball club in 23 minutes. Major stats, because when you think of Aguirre, you think of scoring. 9 years before this season, averaged 24 a game. This year, it's his lowest in his career, 14 points. But when you get limited minutes, you got to make the most of the minutes, and he's doing it.
Detroit has committed only 1 team foul in this first quarter, which has 1:22 to go. Paxson's played all the way in the quarter. Cartwright facing Edwards with 7 on the shot clock. That's the kind of shot Cartwright wants to attempt.
Well, he's laid a few right in the rim, Dick. No luck so far today. Just hasn't dropped.
Jordan is guarding Vinnie Johnson. Pick and roll doesn't work, and it goes past Edwards, who Was mad at himself for not catching that pass.
Yeah, but Cartwright got a hand on that. You know, a little exasperation that time by Edwards. Good defense by Billy Cartwright. When you're not doing your job offensively, things aren't going well, then rebound, play defense, make other things happen.
And Scottie Pippen, who's been a whirling dervish going to the hoop throughout this first quarter, foul going to the hoop. Personal is on Sally, his first, and Pippen will shoot.
Well, he talked to Phil Jackson yesterday. He said that Scottie has had such difficulty getting to the basket. They have taken away his drive by double teaming him. Now that's the first time that he's been able to explode and get up in the high wire act.
Interesting substitution coming in for the Bulls. Not so much Craig Hodges, their shooting guard, but Will Perdue coming in, and he's a guy who hasn't played yet in this series.
Well, they said that Neely has been doing a good job, and with Neely and King in there, along with Scottie Pippen, they like their rotation. This is a surprise.
Cartwright and Paxson go out. Differential of about 14 seconds between the game clock you see and the shot clock. McGuire to Sally, blocked by Perdue. Sally has it again, and Jordan's going to be called for the foul.
See, we had a good and a bad. Will Perdue blocks the shot, but then as the ball is going out of bounds, the Cardinals' sin is never throw the ball back underneath your defensive backboard. Something bad will happen. Now watch this. Watch Perdue react here now. Excellent job on the shot block. But on the throw back, Sally gets it and then gets fouled. He's on the line.
John Sally, who raises his level a year ago, had a so-so regular season, played big in the playoffs. This year had a good regular season, again playing big in the playoffs.
Hey, this guy, this is his 58th foul shot attempt in the playoffs.
Offensive rebound on the miss by Aguirre. Chicago can play for the last shot of the quarter, and Detroit has not made a basket in the last 5 minutes plus.
Now this is a good situation. Now they're flattening out 4 guys on the baseline and allowing Pippen to take his man.
Jordan is guarded by Vinnie Johnson. Jordan will take the shot. And that'll do it for the quarter, but the Bulls coming back with the lead and terrific late period defense. Horace Grant with 8 points and 5 rebounds spurs on the Bulls, and that is the end of the first quarter in game 3 with a score: Chicago 24 and Detroit 19.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals is sponsored by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. Schick, official razor of the NBA. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
And welcome back to Chicago Stadium, Game 3, where the Bulls lead by 5 after 1. A lot of stories of motivation this week in Chicago. I'm Tim Brandt courtside. Of course, Michael Jordan's silence has been won. But how about the way Phil Jackson edited the game films? You see Dumars coming down the lane, stopping for a jumper. It was edited to the Wizard of Oz and the Tin Man. You got to have a heart. Then you'd see Isaiah with a quick layup. The Scarecrow asking for a brain. And how about Lambert with a three-pointer coming back with a cowardly line asking for courage? It lightened the mood of the Bulls, but Phil Jackson also made his point. They've got to play with courage, a lot of smarts, and they've got to play with a lot of heart.
Trap as we start the second quarter, Hubie.
Well, it's a fake. They fake the zone press, and then now just matching up man-to-man, trying to run some time.
Ball knocked away by Hodges, still Detroit ball. Well, maybe if they win a couple of games, they can see the whole Wizard of Oz tape. Not worry about looking at game film. Bulls outshot the Pistons 48 to 41%.
5 seconds on the clock.
B.J. Armstrong lands on Thomas to commit the foul. The Bulls now have B.J. Armstrong and Craig Hodges at guard. Perdue, Pippen, and King up front. Michael Jordan resting as we start the second quarter. Thomas, as you see, and not playing up to his previous playoff level in this one thus far. Hits the first free throw. The Pistons will have Vinnie Johnson and Isaiah in the backcourt, and Sally, Lame-Beer, and Aguirre up front.
See, what I like about Isaiah's game today is he's continually attacking the basket, and he's breaking the defense down and making something happen.
He's got 10 points to lead everybody. Pippen with 9 tops Chicago. Stacey King working against Sally. There's that inside move. Didn't go for him. That was a nice baseline move by King.
Well, it's interesting because Detroit is not double teaming anyone other than Michael Jordan to date.
Vinnie Johnson has it blocked again by Purdue, and Sally is hit hard in the head and goes down. Will Purdue's first foul.
See, if I'm Phil Jackson, I'm extremely happy with the aggressiveness here of Purdue getting his second block. Now, he challenged hard that time. That was a hard foul, no doubt about it. And Sally also got hit by the player behind in the top of the head. You got to love what John Sally is doing in the playoffs, Nick. Now, we're talking about 60 foul shots, and this is only his 11th game.
Chuck Daly told us yesterday he knows what the playoffs mean because he's a show business guy, he's a comedy guy, and he knows that he plays well on this level. It's going to pay off for him. Bulls lead cut to 1.
Now, this is a major test for the Bulls with this group out on the floor. They must free up people for high percentage shots.
Armstrong in particular, shaky as a rookie would be on this level.
They're into a passing game. Now you notice Detroit not running at them.
King. Lame-Beer the rebound, and now the Pistons can take the lead, and Aguirre is going to give it to them. So 6 straight points to start off the second period by the Pistons.
What a great pass by Isaiah. He looked right, froze the defense, and went to his left side. Beautiful.
Bulls had a lead as big as 6 in that first quarter. Purdue, second year out of Vanderbilt. Pippen fall away. Lame-Beer the rebound.
See, this group is not getting inside, Dick. They're not beating anyone off the dribble or getting a clear shot at the basket.
Just trying to hold things until Michael Jordan gets back. Bill Lame-Beer misses. Sally knocks it out of bounds, and so basically the Bulls have to be happy with Jordan getting a good rest, only down by 1. Chicago's missed their last 7, though. Armstrong gets his own long rebound. Thomas and a 2-on-1 with Vinnie Johnson. And a foul by Purdue from behind.
See, whenever you play at this level of basketball, when that shot goes up by a guard, the other guard and small forward must get back on defense, or you're going to see Detroit out in transition and scoring at will.
And that's not their style. Here are the thoughts of Craig Hodges and John Paxson of Michael Jordan's silent treatment this past week.
Michael has to be a vocal leader, and we have to accept his vocal leadership in order for us to be a good ball club, and it has to come from somewhere. I think last year we had Dave Corzine who spoke up a little bit as far as trying to get us together, and this year, without him being there, Michael has to step forward and do that type of thing.
Michael and it's us. It's guys have to step up. You know, as a team, that includes Michael, it includes Scotty, it includes all of us. We have to move the ball more. You know, teams that beat Detroit will get good ball movement and will be prepared to shoot the shots.
Last year, we knew that we had a chance. I think this year is one of those things where we still have a question in our minds as to whether or not we can actually handle this team.
Of course, he was silent to the media, but he wasn't silent at all to his own teammates.
It's like we said at the top of the show, from the coaching staff to the players. No one has taken any offense with this. They all know that Michael expects his team to win. But last year, they forget. We have a tendency that in the first 2 games in Detroit, Chicago stole the game.
Interesting comment made by Hodges about the team's feeling about beating the Pistons and whether they could do it.
Well, 4-1 this year in the series in favor of Detroit. Detroit has come into this building and won 9 of the last 11. You know, that's making a pretty good statement.
I would say. Especially in a place that's tough to win.
See, so far this open court passing game has not, no one is getting good shots. They're shooting and forcing up over the top of someone with the clock down. Like
1
right
second.
now.
Pippen scores. I didn't think he was going to get it off in time. He caught the ball with less than 2 seconds to go on the clock.
Well, they're 2 for 8, you know, since this group has been on the floor.
Pistons still on an 8-2 run nonetheless, with nearly 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Aguirre. And Mark Aguirre now with 6 points. It's again the Piston bench. They have been the dominant force. Pippen on the alley-oop, can't control. Detroit leading by 2. Inside to Sally. Now a 4-point lead, and Aguirre strong off the bench.
Well, you just look out on the floor here. Detroit has Vinny Johnson, Aguirre, Isaiah. They've got guys out here who can score. The only proven scorer on this floor right now is Scottie Pippen, and Hodges needs the open jump shot if he's going to score.
DJ Armstrong goes up without the ball, and a 2-on-1 chance for Detroit. Vinny Johnson lays it in, and a 20-second timeout called by Phil Jackson. And I tell you, Michael Jordan has had a long rest, and before you know it, the Pistons are up by 6.
Well, this has been the major point with Phil Jackson. He says, you know, their second unit demolishes our second group, and then you got to understand, do you need the rest? You bring the guys right back in. Look, here's a strip right there going down the lane, which eventually opens up into the open court in an uncontested layup.
Coming into this game, the Pistons bench had outscored the Bulls bench by 30 points. That's a whopping margin. And right now, Detroit's subs are on a 14-2 run. Jordan is back in the game. He scored 5 points, including a 3-point basket in the first quarter.
Now, you know, we always make that statement at playoff time. You know, some things that you get away with offensively during the year, they definitely do not work in the playoffs. And you've got to get and help people get good shot opportunities.
King gets pushed by Aguirre. That'll be the first team foul against the Pistons here in the second quarter.
23, Mark Aguirre, his first.
Horace Grant, who was the key to the Bulls' effort in the first quarter, will come in and replace Scottie Pippen. And Ed Neely will make his entrance as well. And Purdue will leave.
Now, right now, Chicago will be playing Neely at the center position and King at big forward.
Jordan coming off the screen. 7 points for Jordan.
It happened rather quickly, didn't it?
Each team has had a 6-point lead in this game. Aguirre working against Neely. He's a big body in there.
And he's been around. You know, he's been with a number of ball clubs, and he's that guy that does the intangibles. Good pick man. He puts his body on guys. Nice defensive player. He's going to help you on the boards.
Vinny Johnson. Great strength does Johnson have when he gets in the paint.
What a shot that was. I mean, he changed that shot twice in order to get that up over the top of Neely.
Pistons again with their biggest margin, tying it at 6. Dumars guarding Jordan. That's off the mark. Looking for the biggest lead of this game for either side right now are the Pistons. Laimbeer wide open for a 3.
Chicago can't get away, Dick, from the fact that they attack the basket. There you go.
Jordan. Like going through a minefield that time.
That's how they got the lead, by challenging Detroit's strength, taking it down in there, getting fouls on people. Make it happen. You can't beat Detroit from the perimeter.
4.5 court game. Aguirre fall away. Neely boxed out Sally beautifully. Here's Jordan again, and that'll be a foul against the Bulls. Stacey King that time.
That's a rookie foul. You know, he tried to clear Joe Dumars away by using a forearm. Now he did it, except he did it right in front of the referee.
Bad place to do it. the bench comparison has been no contest in favor of the Pistons in this series off the first 2 games, and again today. Here's why.
But now check Vinnie Johnson. Watch how he's lulling his defensive man with the dribble. Now, as the penetrate, here comes a double team. Now watch the change of the shot. Look at that, to get that up over the top of Neely. Now, keeping the bottom right hand. Now look at Aguirre working here, trying to deny the post up of Scottie Pippen. And now he fronts him, holds onto him, doing a nice job. Now, you know that Chuck Daly made a good statement yesterday about Aguirre. He's really accepted his role. He's coming off the bench, giving us major production, but he's working hard defensively, and he could be one of the premier 6 guys in this league.
Well, he talked about Pierce and some of the people who come off the bench in the league for points, and he gets that. He's getting rebounds as well. But how'd you like that number? 16-0. The Detroit bench outscoring the Bulls. Joe Dumars back in for the Pistons. They surround Vinnie Johnson. Hodges is bodying him. No matter, tipped in by Sally on the miss.
Well, that time no one put a body on Sally. They allowed him to cruise right in.
18-0 for Detroit's bench. That's our little side scoreboard.
By putting Michael at the top right there, you see if they double team, they open up the wings.
Neely misses. Offensive rebound. Grant fighting. Hodges for 3. He's been way off, and they count on the 3-point baskets from Craig. Aguirre fall away. Horace Grant really fighting inside. Sally knocks the ball away from Hodges from behind.
Great defense.
Aguirre throws it away to Neely, and now a chance 3-on-1 against the Pistons. And they don't get anything.
And look out, you have a 3-on-1 at the other end.
Vinnie Johnson to Sally, and they're not going to let him get the easy layup. No way. But the Bulls missed a great opportunity with Jordan on the 3-on-1.
Now watching this transition move. Watch John Sally run the ball down from behind. Now remember, we're talking about a 7'1" guy catching a guard, forcing the turnover. All young players, when a guy is out ahead of you, you know, a lot of times guys are trying to get alongside of them or cut them off. Now, just come from behind and go for the tap.
Dennis Rodman against Mark Jackson in the big 4th game in New York with the Pistons. Foul was on Stacey King, his 2nd.
See, this was a good foul. They're going to make Sally go to the line and make the foul shots. You know, we say John has been having an outstanding playoff by the number, but he only shoots right around that 70 mark. When you have a fast break 3-on-1, you cannot get cute, especially when baskets are so hard to come by. Make the easy play.
Bulls have Pippen, Neely, and Grant up front. And they've got Hodges and Michael Jordan at guard. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Grant with the offensive rebound and another putback.
Well, that's what we mean when we say when your player gets double or triple team and he shoots, the free people should be in front of the basket looking for the offensive rebound.
Pick and roll to Sally from Dumars. No basket. Offensive foul against Sally.
Now that was excellent. Oh, Chuck Daly, that's like a migraine. You get the beautiful pick and roll, but give the Bulls credit. They rotated and took the charge.
Pistons by 6.
So you can't double team him when he's going 1-on-1 from there.
Open is Horace Grant from the corner. The rebound is by Lane Beer.
Now the problem with that is you must hit the open wing jump shots.
Detroit shooting nearly 60%, and Chicago's grown cold in the 2nd quarter. Dumars working against Pippen. Lane Beer. Loose ball foul. It'll be against the Pistons. And it'll be against Lane Beer.
Bill was working hard that time. You know, a little exasperation, and he missed the shot. The shot rolled out on him, but he's so tough-minded. He's right back on that offensive glass.
Edwards will come in for Sally, and Bill Cartwright is also checked in for the Chicago Bulls, replacing Neely.
See, Jordan wants to post up right now on Dumars. You can't go away from him.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Jordan over Aguirre. Fighting is with an offensive rebound, and a foul is called against Vinnie Johnson of Detroit. For the Pistons, it'll be their third team foul. The Bulls have committed 4.
See, Chuck Daly very, upset on that call. But on the release of the shot, Michael Jordan was fouled. They caught him down below the release of the hand. They caught him down by the elbow. Now, on that, what I like, if I'm Chicago, I like the activity of Pippen and Grant. They are really crashing the glass.
Scottie Pippen now has 12. Grant has 10. John Clarkson will come in for Hodges because the Pistons right now have all of their 3 guards in there. Thomas, Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson. And they have Edwards and Aguirre up front. So other than Edwards, it's a pretty small but quick team out there. 4-point Piston lead, and here comes the full court.
Now, with the press, remember what you're trying to do is force turnovers, but more important, get them to take a quick shot, stay out of their offense, run some time, because Detroit is such a methodical half-court offensive team.
They got time to set up their play. Edwards, short. Michael Jordan the rebound, and a chance to cut the lead to 2. And he does. Oh. 11 now for Michael.
He was determined.
A different Michael Jordan is shown up here and a different Bulls team, but they're locked in a tight battle anyway. Pistons coolly playing their game. Aguirre gives Detroit a 4-point lead again, and Mark now off the bench with 10. Still no points from the Chicago bench yet in this game. Under 3 minutes to play in the second period. Jordan posting up against Dumars, and a foul, and that'll be the 4th team foul against Detroit. Each team with 4, and Dumars his first.
See, I like that strategy. Force Dumars to really play him. Now here comes Michael splitting right there. Now look how easily he shifts the ball into a beautiful spin.
Jordan has taken the most, but what do you make of that?
Well, see, Grant, when people say the other 3 guys must step up, Grant, Cartwright, and Paxson, you can see Cartwright and Paxson, very few shot opportunities. And the distribution at the top is nice, but remember, Pippen and Grant have been getting an awful lot on offensive rebounds. They are not in the initial flow of the offense.
Bulls have a 7-4 edge in offensive rebounds where they were killed in the first 2 games, so there's a change there. Marked, I might add. Jordan makes 1 free throw, has 12. Pippen still leads the team with 13. There's the full court pressure.
Up to now, the full court pressure has not caused any turnovers, but they did have Detroit shooting quicker.
Aguirre in the corner.
Oh, he's hot.
He is having a game. Mark Aguirre with 12 points, and the bench for Detroit has outscored Chicago's 24-0.
Well, the reason why this is so big is they can leave Rodman on the bench with his 2 fouls, get him into the second half with 4 to give.
10 on the shot clock. Lead is 5 for the Pistons. That was the lead for Chicago. They're up by 5 after 1. Paxson long range hits. But the Bulls have to get the ball inside again. That's what worked for them early when they forged their 6-point lead. Thomas arcs a 3 and the second 3-point basket today for Isaiah.
He's looking today. He's right there on the drives. And most important, he's really looking for the 3 today.
Jordan working against Dumars. Draws the foul. Was it Aguirre or Dumars? It's Joe with his second personal. And Detroit now in the penalty.
Dumars, his second penalty.
Well, Chuck's got to make a decision here. He does not like to have a guy get 3 going into the second half. But he also knows that he does not want Michael Jordan to get off in this next 1 minute and 44 seconds with, a heavy amount of points.
Detroit still going to the line a lot more than Chicago, indicative of their ability to penetrate, and Chicago not going inside. And also a big story of the first 2 games of the series. .45-41 Detroit. Second spot up to James Edwards. 47-41 now. If you look at the board, that's a Detroit score right now.
Well, their asset is they run the pick and roll and they make a great pass.
Dumars slaps it away into the hands of Edwards. Dumars hits the jumper. They're on a roll, and they're doing it the tail end of the second quarter.
Well, the forced turnovers have really hurt Chicago. Because they're ending up in major points at the opposite end of the floor.
1 minute remaining in the first half. Paxson, Cartwright, and Grant fighting for the rebound. Grant throws it into the hands of Aguirre. 3-on-2 break for Detroit. Thomas with a short jumper. And now a 10-point lead for the Pistons.
That is an exasperated man. You cannot overlook excellent passing. Players make it look easy. And then when you see another team falter and it say, my, how could a player do that?
Illegal defense called against the Pistons. They're first.
Warning. Reset 24 seconds.
Now watch right here. A good hustle by Grant getting there, but they get him around. See, he lost sight. Grant lost sight of the offensive player, Paxson.
Bulls have wanted a higher tempo, higher scoring game than what they have now. That was Jordan who tipped it in, but 43 points is not a good output for a half for Chicago. They're playing Detroit's game.
You take away all the fast break baskets, Dick, the turnovers, which gave them the easy 2-on-1, 3-on-1s, and you know Chicago has been playing a pretty good game outside of that. 7
on the shot clock, a little over 10 in the game clock, and Edwards on the wrist. Foul will send him to the line with 7 seconds to play. It'll be Grant, and that'll be 3 on Horace Grant. And Gerald Henderson is going to come in for Dumars as Chuck Daly doesn't want to see Joe pick up his 3rd foul, so the veteran Henderson comes in. Or will.
Well, you look at the depth of this Detroit team. You have Henderson, Greenwood, Scott Hastings, 3 guys that they pick up who have been in so many playoff games. In case you get in foul trouble or you get an injury, you have quality guys stepping in.
For Chicago, Craig Hodges replacing Bill Cartwright.
Hodges replaces Cartwright. And a 20-second timeout called by Chuck Daly. Bulls have not even scored 20 points in the second quarter after taking a 5-point lead after 1. Right now, let's check in with Tim Brand. Tim?
All right, Dick, of course, one of the stories has been the depth, the Detroit bench. You know, you only play 8 guys, although they probably could go 12 deep. Scott Hastings started something. They're called the bench bandits. They wear rubber bands on their left wrist, and if one of those last 4 guys isn't paying attention, they snap it. It's the bench bandits. Dick?
I wouldn't want to get snapped, Hubie. Edwards got off quickly, and now if he can make the free throw, we'll have 9 points. We'll settle for 8. Pippen the rebound. Bulls trying to get it down, and the last shot throws it away. Thomas misses the shot, but Detroit comes on big, making their last 6 shots. Mark Aguirre sparks a 24-0 bench output by the Pistons, and his defense was also a factor. That's the end of the first half. It's the Pistons 51-43. Pat O'Brien and Bill Raftery will be along with the
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? The American Express card. Membership has its privileges. And by AT&T, the right choice.
If you want to double the score of 51-43, which we will in a second as we welcome you back to the 1990 NBA playoffs, Game 3 of the Eastern Finals, you double it, the score would be 102-86, and that is made to order for the Detroit Pistons. The pace, tempo, everything going their way. They're going to the line more than the Bulls are, and they're out shooting them. What else is new? And a couple of moments ago, Hubie Brown had this conversation with Bulls head coach Phil Jackson.
Phil, first half, 13 turnovers, 8 in the second quarter. What do you do? Well, they preyed on our inexperience of our young guys, and they came after us. So we got to stop that. That's particularly the reason why they jumped out ahead of us in that quarter. We got to take better care of the ball in the open floor.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, now was down in the Detroit locker room. Chuck Daly's concerns. He's expecting an emotional burst out of Chicago early here in the third period. He also was upset, the prince of pessimism, because of second chance points Chicago got. Grant got 3, Jordan got 1. He says otherwise we held him to 35 points. Dick?
All right, Tim. Well, he's got to pick at something. That's for sure. You can't say you're playing great. See you in the finals, but right now, they're in command. Pick and roll, Edwards from Thomas. Grant with the rebound.
The pick and roll has been there all day for them. They're getting good shots out of it, and Chicago must cut it down.
We'll give you the scoring in a second. Jordan gets another chance to score. Jordan has 18 points to lead the Bulls. Thomas with 15 tops Detroit. The bench has outscored the Bulls 24-0 for the Pistons, and that's Sally, Aguirre, and Vinnie Johnson.
Excellent defense by Paxson. Got his hand in there before Isaiah got the ball up above his waist.
Lane Beer with Edwards, Thomas, Rodman, and Dumars. Thomas breaking out in a big way in game 3.
He's 6 for 10 today from the floor, really looking for the shot. No hesitation at all.
Sooner or later, those 3 guards are all going to put it together, and when they do, well, we're into mid-June. Pippen. Rebound by Grant. He has been a horse, but it's blocked inside. Rodman got a piece of it. Thomas pulls up for a 3, and he's got it. No, it's a 2. He was on the line. 19 points.
How about a 4-on-1 and you pull up and look for the long jumper?
Jordan working against Dumars, who has 2 fouls with a great pass to Payton.
When Chicago gets down in there, they've got to attack the basket strong. You can't go up there with anything soft because Detroit is either stripping you or they are getting a shot block.
Paxson hanging in there with Isaiah. Isaiah feels he can hit everything right now. That's the zone that Vinnie Johnson feels when he's red hot.
Isaiah, one of the truly great streak shooters in the history of this league.
Paxson has to settle for that. Rebound by Pippen, and he's fouled. Lane Beer will pick up his 3rd foul. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics. Chicago at 41%. They were at 39 coming into this game. The turnovers in the second period were key to Detroit's comeback, and 24-0 again. Detroit hammering Chicago off the bench.
That output in the first half, not only is Isaiah doing it, but then you have Aguirre 5 for 8. Along with Edwards, you have 3 key guys knocking in big numbers.
1 out of 2 for Pippen. You know, Chuck Daly talked about emotion. I don't know whether emotion's going to play any more of a role in this game. Foul against Paxson. You know, I think you get the emotion early, but after a while that dies down and you got to play.
Yeah, and especially like Chuck Daly said, my team focuses better when we're on the road. You don't win 24 games in this league, have the best road record last year and then the second best this year if your guys can't play it defensively.
Thomas missed the shot, but he got inside, and Grant, I think, fouled. Let's see if it is Grant.
Chicago personal foul, 54.
And it's Grant's 4th personal foul, and he has been the big horse off the boards in the first half of this game.
Now, he's been outstanding. Now, you know, this puts a lot of pressure on Phil Jackson, but he's going to go for the substitution. And it looks like they're going to go small. If they bring in Craig Hodges right now.
And he will. Paxson goes out.
Replacing John Paxson.
Now, this is interesting. They're going to leave Grant out there because he realized he cannot let this game get away from him right now.
Rodman was only a 36% shooter from the line in the playoffs, but he looked like a 90%er with those 2 free throws. Posting up against Dumars, Jordan.
See, that's been there for them today. Michael is moving quickly and getting the shot up over the top of Joe before the double team is getting to him.
Just about 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Two-man game with Edwards and Dumars right now for Detroit. Tipped by Rodman, and a foul called against the Bulls.
That was a very good call. There was a push.
And it's Grant's 5th foul, Hubie. Horace Grant's picked up number 5.
Horace Grant, you know, is very, I'll say, very upset on that call right there. See, when you're working as hard as he is today, you have to put your body on people. And that's what he's been doing it and getting excellent results.
Three-point basket by Thomas, who thought he was hit as well. Ed Neely, you saw, replaced Grant. So Phil Jackson took a gamble with his team down, didn't want to fall behind more. And right now, Grant is on the bench with 5. Things are not looking very good for Chicago, to say the least. Hodges misses a 3, Rodman the rebound.
So you got to watch now that this game doesn't get away from you. It's already at 12, and we have had no stoppage of the action with any kind of a timeout or a 20-second.
Here's Thomas off a screen. This time misses. Lane Beer with the offensive board.
This is where Detroit, at their best, they just don't rush things. They're going to get the call that they want. Chuck gave them the call. Now they're going to set up high pick and roll.
Lane Beer left open, top of the key. Wild shot, missed by Jordan. Well, the Bulls have to hope that the Pistons, sometimes they get into a lull and they blow some leads. They're going to bank on that. Cartwright on a pick and roll has it deflected away. Cartwright has not scored today, by the way.
Now here you have the shot. Keep an eye on Grant underneath there. There's the push right in the chest of Rodman. Now, when you're working as hard as Grant, you don't feel that that is a foul. And in this game, with as much body contact, I would have to agree with Grant.
Timeout, Chicago. Largest lead of the game right now for the Pistons here, almost midway through the 3rd period. Let's take a look out west, Hubie. This has been a big battle of point guards, Terry Porter and Kevin Johnson. A big win for Phoenix yesterday after a heartbreaking loss, blowing a 22-point lead in Game 2 at Portland. Look how well the starters shot yesterday in Game 3.
Well, not only did they shoot it, that group, but at the end of 3 quarters, they were shooting 70%. And I don't think that there's any team in the league that could beat them when they're shooting 70%.
Game number 4 tomorrow at Phoenix, 3:30 Eastern time, right here on CBS. Thomas shooting over Neely. Rodman keeps it alive. How great is he in offensive rebounding that way?
There he's been rather quiet today, and that's unnatural for him. He averages right around 9 rebounds a game.
Yet they're still up by 12, the Pistons.
That's right.
Dumars penetrates. Lane Beer, offensive rebound. Bulls come down with it with Jordan.
They need a spurt.
Trying to get it into Cartwright. Neely, looks like a football game and a first down as Rodman is the ball carrier. Let's go to Tim Brand.
All right, Dick, one thing about the Chicago huddles the last 2 timeouts is there is not a panic situation. Phil Jackson just designing plays, no pep talks, no reminders. He's designing the plays, and he's just telling the guys, maintain your composure, keep your intensity, Dick.
Well, there's a guy who always has kept his and has never panicked, Phil Jackson. Neely picks up his 2nd and the 4th team foul against the Bulls. One more and then they're the penalty. John Sally has replaced Lane Beer in the Detroit lineup. Rodman throws it away.
See, Dennis got cute that time. He tried to palm the ball. Chuck is all upset. He has a right to be. What are you doing with the Globetrotter routine? You know, fake the pass, bring it back, and then turn it into a turnover.
Pistons have been known to get a little arrogant, some people say, or careless when they have lead.
Well, they play in peaks and valleys. Here's a real brawl going on here between these 2 guys, Rodman and Pippen.
And Rodman fouls Pippen. That's only the 2nd team foul against the Pistons, but 3 on Dennis.
Anytime you're going to post up a guy on Dennis Rodman, he has to have quickness of foot, and he must also really be strong in the upper body. Now just watch this, how quick his feet are. Good move, though, by Pippen. By leaning in, he got the contact.
He'll send Pippen to the line. Scotty has not matched his playoff average of 21 points. He He's got 17 though right now. That matches his high in game 2. And there's Mark Aguirre, who had 12 off the bench in the first half. Rodman is out.
See, over 82 games, Chicago had 5 guys in double figures. Now in this series they only have 3, and what they do is they cut down your shot attempts, and they force guys into bad, intimidated types of shots.
Aguirre has a screen from Edwards, and he stays hot. 14 for Mark.
See, they stay with the offense, they free the people, and they get open shots.
Jordan has Neely, and Neely's fouled by Isaiah Thomas. That's the 3rd team foul, and Isaiah's first.
See, in this quarter alone, Michael Jordan has been double-teamed and delivered 3 key passes to people inside the painted area. All 3 have been fumbled, and that's the difference. See, they've got to catch these passes and dunk the basketball or get fouled. And we are not seeing that today.
That's on the money. Bulls have lost 6 straight to the Pistons. Remember, last year they actually led in the Eastern Finals 2-1 before Detroit won the last 3 games to wrap it up.
Anytime that you play the great defensive teams, and this is the best that the NBA has seen in years, you must take advantage of the foul line and wide open layups and the open shot, because you're not going to get too many of them.
Aguirre with a long 3, and Mark Aguirre coming home has responded with 17 points. Isaiah with 24. These kids couldn't wait to get back to Chicago.
Never mind that, but the 3-point shooting. Detroit 4 for 7. Isaiah with 3 and Aguirre with 1.
Cartwright with his first points of the game. Bill Cartwright, who came in averaging 9 in the playoffs.
Well, he's averaging 7 shot attempts in the series. Now, where are you going if you're only going to get 5 to 7 shots?
Dumars has it knocked away, but it picks up the loose ball and makes an fall-away shot. The Bulls now have lost a lot of aggressiveness. Jordan off balance. Doesn't matter.
That's a highlight. That's a highlight film shot. Come on now.
All right, I'll put it on there. 22 for Michael Jordan.
He released that about a foot off the floor.
But you know, the crowd didn't explode even though he made that shot, because they see that the Pistons are beating their club. Dumars misses a 3. Rebound Cartwright. Lead is 12 for the Pistons. 4.5 to play in the 3rd. See, the crowd didn't explode on that shot by Jordan. They see what's happening. Jordan in the corner. He's doing everything he can, that's for sure.
You're down 10, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. There's plenty of time, but it must happen defensively and on all these loose balls that Detroit keeps capturing.
Off the screen, Thomas drives in, beautifully executed. Layup, and Isaiah with 26 points. That's more than he scored in each of the first 2 games, or total of the first 2. Pistons foul.
Now watch where he brings this shot from. Look at this. Nice scoop, and he catches the glass for the perfect spin. Here's the guy who set the tempo all day, right here. Isaiah going right down inside and making it happen. It's time and time again. Right at the beginning of the game, he came out and he challenged the Chicago defense.
3rd foul on Sally. 4th team foul. Each team has 4. Hodges. 2-point basket by Craig. And that is only the 3rd point of the game by the Bulls bench. Hodges' basket, Neely hit a free throw.
See, the fans are sensing it. They need some defensive stops so that they can run a little spurt. Walk.
Traveling, turns it over to the Bulls. Now the crowd getting into it.
Excellent defense by Scottie Pippen.
Pippen, follow-up, no basket. And they claim that goaltending, Detroit had a player on the rim count the basket. It was Sally who grabbed it.
You're not allowed to grab onto the rim while the ball is above the cylinder. They had offensive goaltending that time. And even if they didn't get it, now you watch on this shot as it goes up. There's the grab of the rim right there. Now, Pippen, they still followed up and would have scored anyway.
Does make for an unfair advantage.
A teats.
Bulls have hit 5 in a row, by the way. Vinnie Johnson in the game at guard for the Pistons. Winding down to 3 minutes to go in the third. Bulls trying to stage a run. And they're going to call the offensive foul against Edwards.
Good call. Edwards was moving on that pick that time.
71-63. Jordan. Pippen gets the loose ball. New clock.
Get a good shot.
Hodges for 3. Way off. Still Chicago. Pippen and a blocking foul against John Sally, and that will be the penalty situation. 15 foul for Detroit. And 4 on Sally.
Sally played that as well. Watch Sally move his feet here. See, Sally was saying, listen, I cut off the baseline, but he didn't get there enough. He was moving.
Bulls back in this game and will return to Chicago Stadium. Chicago on a run, and their fans are up and stomping and clapping. These are critical minutes. 2:43 remaining in the third quarter. You remember Detroit with a big run toward the end of the half, and Chicago can come back with one of their own. They've outscored the Pistons 11-4. Scottie Pippen with 20 points and 10 boards on the line.
Scottie has been so active on the offensive boards today, and he's been rewarded by either getting fouled or making that second shot opportunity.
Horace Grant on the bench. Remember, he picked up his 5th foul here in the third quarter. But now the lead is 6.
Well, they're doing a number of things well. They're holding Detroit to 1 shot. They are not turning the ball over themselves, so there are no Detroit fast breaks. There he is.
And a traveling violation against Vinnie Johnson. You mentioned the turnovers. The Bulls have turned it over just 1 time here in this third quarter.
Now, they only had really 1 major lapse, and that was for about a 5-minute period, and it cost them dearly in that second quarter. Now, Detroit, they've got to regroup here defensively and also get back to their offensive sets where they were getting good shot opportunities.
Jordan over Vinnie Johnson. Neely gets the offensive rebound. Big one.
Oh, he's a big body in there, and he's making it happen.
Pippen did not have control. Jordan missed the scoop. Pippen.
Yes, Pippen.
Foul. What a relentless sequence by Scottie Pippen.
Hey, they had Michael, Jordan, Neely, and Pippen in there attacking. Sally and Edwards know that they're in a fight. Now watch this release and just key on the bodies down in here right now. See, Sally and Edwards have got to play big.
Sally has picked up number 5, and Bill Laimbeer, who himself has 3, comes back. If he makes it, it'll be a 4-point game. The Pistons were up by as many as 14 here in the third. It's 5 right now. Pippen with 23 points.
The full court man-to-man pressure has caused Detroit some problems here.
Under 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Edwards. Cartwright to Hodges. Pippen guarded by Thomas on a mismatch right now.
He'll get double teamed.
And the lead now, 71-68.
See, he's read the double team and the mismatch perfectly today. Anytime that he has a slow guy or a small man on him, Pippen has taken him to the hole.
Edwards again. Tell you, it takes a guy like Edwards. He missed one, came right back and hit another one.
Yeah, but his whole life, he's a scorer.
Jordan goes up, gets the basket and the foul.
As soon as he got fouled, he regrouped for that shot.
Isaiah Thomas commits the foul. He goes out. Dumars is in. Stacey King has come in for Bill Cartwright, who has struggled today. And Michael Jordan now has 27 points, and it's a 2-point Detroit lead with full court pressure in their face. 1 minute just about remaining in the third.
They want baseline motion. Now that means they're going to pick along the baseline for Vinnie Johnson or Aguirre.
7 on the shot clock. King is all over Vinnie Johnson. Mismatch somewhere else. And he ran right around King, and Hodges was left holding the bag.
That was a great move by Vinnie. He caught the clock and knew that he had to take it all away.
Jordan working inside, tries to get it into Neely, and he does. Foul as well. Neely has become a big player for the Bulls in this game.
Now watch the drop-off off the pass. You see, Neely is ready. Where is he? Right in front of the basket. All you have to do is make the catch in that situation, and you're golden.
1-point game now. 16 plus seconds is the differential on the clock. The full court pressure has helped the Bulls here. And a turnover. The Bulls can take the lead. And Vinnie Johnson knocks it from behind Michael Jordan.
You say about the press, force you into turnovers, the quick shot, get you to kick it up from the corner, but get the ball out of the main key ball handler's hands. Make some other people handle, and that's what we're seeing right now. See, by this now, it's tough to double team, Michael.
Jordan draws the foul. With 5.5 left in the third and a chance to give Chicago the lead.
See, anytime that they go 1-4 with 4 players on the baseline and Michael out on top, if you run a man at Michael, a double team him in the middle of the floor, he has the option of splitting it or pass the ball to the wing. Detroit is contented right now in staying with the wing people. You know, I don't think his hip or his wrist are bothering him today.
And the Bulls have their first lead since early in the second quarter. Final seconds. Vinnie Johnson, foul from behind with 1 second to go. Hodges might have gotten it. And that is really a bad judgment play by the Chicago Bulls. And the foul is on Scottie Pippen, his second. It was Pippen.
Well, you always tell players, keep between your man and the basket, and whatever you do, don't foul a guy who's taking a shot outside of 3. Watch this. He's behind the 3-point line, and you foul. Very seldom do you ever block the shot without having body contact. That's a gift.
This can give the Pistons the lead again with 1 second remaining. And that will do it. So Pippen lit the Bulls' lamp in the third quarter with a big effort despite that foul. That's what he did. But Detroit has the lead. And that's the end of the third period. And we'll return to Chicago Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
Welcome back to Chicago Stadium. Game 3 of the best of 7 as the 1990 playoffs continue here on CBS. The Bulls have closed within 1 as we head into the final period of this Game 3. And as they came off the court, Michael Jordan, with an emotional outburst, slapped Scottie Pippen and said, "Way to go, way to work. That was our quarter." Did the same with Ed Nealy. It was a great quarter for Chicago, probably their best in this series. Dick, Hubie?
It was 33 points as their best quarter. Only 1 turnover in the third period, Hubie.
That's major. And also, naturally, Jordan had a great quarter. But another facet is down below the free throws. Chicago was 11 for 13 in 1 quarter. Outstanding. And then 8 offensive rebounds. Now, when you think about that a second, they've only been averaging 7 a game in the first 2 games, and they get 8 in the third quarter alone.
There's the score by period. The big 33 has put the Bulls in this one. As we start the fourth, King, Nealy, Pippen, Jordan, and Hodges. There's Stacey King with a putback. Interesting lineup the Bulls have up front.
Well, you know, see, keeping Nealy in there, he's such a banger. He moves guys out. He's not afraid to put his body on there. But now the key guy there is Stacey King. He must come alive.
Sally on the bench with 5 fouls for the Pistons. Horace Grant also on the Pines with 5 for the Bulls. Maguire goes in. Offensive foul.
Once again, Nealy rotated and took that charge head on.
As Phil Jackson told us, he reads as well as anyone on the team. And a technical foul called against Chuck Daly.
Well, Chuck's trying to send a message to the referees. He wants, now watch Nealy run, come over here now, see, and take that charge. Boom, and that was out far enough that it should be a charge. See, Nealy does all the little things.
Jordan with his 30th point of the game. He had 16 at halftime, and there's Nealy, who they traded for Hodges, and then got him back.
Got him back. They liked his worth that he's a good defensive player, a banger, and he knows his limitations offensively.
79-77 Chicago. Less than a minute gone by in the fourth. Nealy. Maguire with the rebound.
See, his man double-teamed Michael, and he should not have faded away. He should have attacked the basket that time. Would have had a layup.
Edwards, Maguire, Rodman, Johnson, and Dumars, and James Edwards. Thomas on the bench leads Detroit with 26 points. Jordan open, hits the jumper.
Well, one-on-one, Joe Dumars is at his mercy out there, because Michael will only stop Michael.
King defending against Edwards. Knocked away by Stacey King to Jordan. Rodman comes out of it after King had a chance. And they're going to call the foul on Hodges with a push.
Good call. Bernie Fryer right there on a push-off on Hodges. You see, the thing that was missing in Game 1 and Game 2 is Michael Jordan being a designated on this. Good pick by Nealy, putting the man down to open up someone for a free possibility of a shot.
Pistons looking to tie. Vinnie Johnson. Jordan the rebound. Ahead to Hodges. Against Maguire. Feed inside to King. But there's that man Nealy again, and he's fouled. What a game for him.
You're always happy when the guys who do the dirty work have good games, because they sacrifice their body all night, and only their peers understand their worth. Keep an eye on Big Ed. Watch him take this charge. First of all, boom, sacrifices his body in that situation. You also know that he's going to set picks on people. That's his job, to free up the shooters. And then they tell them, you know what, we're not running any offensive plays for you, so the only time you can get a shot is if you work on the offensive boards and get blasted underneath.
Ed Nealy is no stranger to postseason play. This is his 4th year in the playoffs. Broke in with the Kansas City Kings back in 1982 out of Kansas State. He has been with San Antonio and a little bit with Phoenix. He had 11 rebounds in our very first game this year at Golden State.
See, anytime that you designate role guys, you want guys who are going to be coachable. And I mean that. That's big because they come to the arena every night and know that they might play a whole 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and not even get a shot. You want guys that will accept that role and understand that if they're going to win, the intangibles must be done, and the 3 key shooters get the basketball.
Into the Detroit hands, 1 out of 2. Well, a big time here. We're going to mark this down because B.J. Armstrong has replaced Jordan, and he comes in with Chicago leading by 3 and 9:40 to go in the final quarter. Thomas over Armstrong hits that one.
See, they had Isaiah double teamed that time. Both guys went away from him and opened up the shot. Zeke's on fire today. You cannot give him the jumper.
McGuire is all over Nealy on the outside. Pippen. McGuire picks him up on the switch. Scottie Pippen changes hands. Rodman the rebound, and the Pistons can regain the lead here. Thomas is going to try to take Armstrong to school, and he knocks it away. But the throw is beyond Scottie Pippen.
See, with this group out there for Chicago, Isaiah feels he can beat Armstrong off the dribble. That was a beautiful strip, though, by B.J.
Yes, it was.
To his credit.
Bulls with the rebounding edge by 9 on the Pistons today. But
this unit, at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, you know, was a 12-point swing in favor of Detroit.
Thomas is fouled.
Chicago personal foul.
At the conclusion of our game, Hubie and I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game, and in conjunction with the award, Light Beer will present a check in the amount of $1,000 in the player's name to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. Foul was on Armstrong, his second.
When you're a big-name player, a guy who's really done it, who can run streaks like Isaiah, and a rookie is playing you, you know that you can take him naturally because you feel you've got the talent, and then also the rookie is not going to get the call.
Isaiah misses. Winds up with the ball. Jordan replaced Hodges. Tied at 82.
High pick and roll.
Pippen now chases after Dumars. Double team on Dumars. 3 on the shot clock. Rodman may not know it. Got it off in time, but missed the rebound. Stacey King. Jordan with 32 points today.
Bad foul.
King knocked Lane Beer down, and that'll be 3 on Stacey King.
Well, yeah, Phil Jackson is pleading his case over there. But now that's it. There's a little bit of acting involved because, see, Lambier's a very smart player. He was wiped out by Stacey King with his right arm, and naturally he's going to even emphasize that by hitting the floor.
He's always done that.
He's a smart player.
9 on the shot clock. McGuire low post against Pippen. Knew he missed it. Went after the ball. Steps on the line. And it'll be Chicago's ball.
Chicago got away there, especially Pippen. McGuire shot that shot. Pippen turned and never blocked McGuire out. McGuire went and got the ball.
Horace Grant back in. He's got 5 personal fouls as Stacey King sits down.
Yeah, but you got 7.5 to go.
Michael Jordan breaks the tie. 34 points matches his Game 1 output in this series.
See, Phil Jackson going Nealy at center now, forgetting about Cartwright, forgetting about Stacey King.
Along with an experienced group there. Dumars. Lane Beer on a push-off.
says, when it gets to playoff time, Lambier just focuses in on the boards. If you get in his way, he's going to move you.
And Jordan hits again. 2-point basket. Michael's fine. He should never talk to people other than his teammates again. And let's see, Scottie Pippen is hit with a foul on Dumars, and let's see if it is Pippen. No, it's Jordan. Only 2 on Michael, but 3 team fouls on Chicago.
See, that time they were not going to allow Dumars to get over into a one-on-one situation versus Michael Jordan, so they went for the trap. Unfortunately, Michael fouled.
Score is 86-82 Chicago with 6:59 to go in the 4th period. And tonight on CBS, it's Paradise, followed by Tour of Duty. And then tonight on Saturday night with Connie Chung, meet a woman who calls herself a matchmaker. She'll take your money to set you up. But is it only a love scam? Well, you'll find out. It's all tonight right here on CBS. There, the timeouts. Detroit 4 and a 20, Chicago 3 and a 20. Pistons have 2 fouls to give, the Bulls just 1. Michael Jordan shot 40% from the field in the first 2 games of the series. Today, 59% and 36 points.
They'll play 2-man basketball, Isaiah and Aguirre.
With a very tough shot. Pippen played it well.
I'll tell you, that was a tough catch. First of all, without it coming into a turnover, and then a terrific shot.
Double teaming on Jordan. Now they're trapping the Pistons. Pippen guarded by Lane Beer, who has 5 fouls.
Nice.
Scottie Pippen with 27 points, his best game by far of the series.
See, he feels he can knock in that 15 to 18-footer. And next time, if that happens on a mismatch, watch for him going to the basket off the dribble. Here's the 2-man game again.
Pippen knocks it away. Same 2 people, Thomas and Aguirre.
See, Scottie Pippen is saying that Aguirre's pushing off. Pippen is trying to front him, play him on the top side. If Isaiah will just wait a split second, he can pass to the corner of the board over his head.
Double on Thomas, the extra pass to a wide-open Joe Dumars. Works every time.
Well, they're at their best when they do that. And they have the proven veteran guys that will knock down that shot when they're wide open.
Lead is 2 for Chicago. Aguirre, now the triple team on him. Pippen with a 3. Rebound by Rodman. Grant playing with 5 fouls, and so is Lane Beer. It'll still be Detroit ball. They're the leading scorers today.
You have to watch out now. You only have 18 on the clock. All right, they got it over. This is high pick and roll stuff right here.
Lane Beer setting the pick. Now they go into Thomas against Armstrong, isolating him. Clear out. 1 second, they don't get it off. Doesn't turn it over. No basket.
The noise is so deafening that even if people were yelling at Isaiah, he couldn't hear them.
I can hear you. B.J. Armstrong with Grant getting the offensive rebound. To Neely.
Get within your offense.
Winding down for 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Jordan. It's good, and a foul.
Now watching this situation, they double team him, and then they kind of split. And Michael just went right in between Isaiah and Dumars.
Still Chicago's ball. Neely went after it, and Rodman knocked it away.
Hey, give the guy his due. And Chuck knows it. Neely is such a positive force here today.
Last foul was on Isaiah. Each team with 3 team fouls in this 4th quarter. Trap on Jordan. Grant. Armstrong. Wide open.
That's the best ball movement of the day for Chicago.
6-point lead, timeout, Detroit.
To show you excellent defense by Detroit. Here they are trapping Michael Jordan. Look at the top at B.J. Armstrong. Now, there is your pass. Now look at the rotation. The pass goes out to Pippen. They run hard at Pippen, but excellent ball movement. Into the pivot. When it comes out of the pivot, 2 passes.
You know, it's interesting. We talked about the big edge off the bench. 24-0 Bulge in the first half, but in the second half, it's all even. 11-11.
Yes, but in the second half, Chicago did not stay long minutes with those 5 people off the bench, as they did in the first half. They brought Michael back a lot faster in this half.
Edwards and Thomas, 2-man game. Cartwright fell down, and Edwards hits the shot. It's a 4-point game, but it looks from here as if the Bulls are going to get over the 100-point mark for the first time in this series. And I say that hesitantly because Pistons can shut you out.
They got Rodman now on Michael.
Pippen.
He's pushing that in. You have to call that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bernie Fryer was right there, and that'll be the 4th team foul against Detroit. 4 on Rodman.
Hey, now you watch down inside. See, Rodman is there. Now watch him. There you go. See, he hit. He went right underneath Michael with his leg, forcing him to lose his balance.
Pistons have no more fouls to give.
All right, this is the big matchup now.
Rodman on Jordan and the offensive foul. And that's a good call by Nick Pavetta.
1 for 1. Rodman at his best, moving his feet. He's so quick to beat off the dribble.
Under 4 minutes.
Now Detroit running their baseline movement for Dumars.
Pippen is out to meet Joe. Dumars gets by, and Pippen commits the foul, and that is the 4th team foul against Chicago. So they'll be in the penalty the next foul.
See, when you get in a situation like this, it's the end of the game. You got 3:50 to go. You're telling your guys, look, when you're playing a man, make him shoot the ball over the top of you. Don't gamble and let him beat you off the dribble and get inside that painted area. Cartwright and Edwards. Good defense by Cartwright.
Dumars for 3. In and out. Rebound by Cartwright.
And Cartwright popped James Edwards on that block out right on the jaw.
Jordan goes in.
Jordan sprained his ankle. Yes,
40
he did.
points for Michael Jordan.
He came down, yes.
The Bulls want a timeout. And Jordan's hurting. We're going to get a report from Tim Brand, I know.
Now here you have Michael. Now watch how he knifes his way down inside. He's off balance. But now as he comes down, he came down, I'm pretty sure, right on Grant's foot. At least that's the way it looked from that angle.
That looms large right now with 3:19 to go, and Chicago nursing that lead.
At Bic.
And challenge Jordan off the dribble and see if they don't go knee to knee here. Now it's an excellent move by Michael. Now as he goes to elevate, there it is right there. And then he came down hard right on by Grant's foot. But you could see it was a knee inadvertently into Jordan.
Then Pippen stole the inbounds pass and a timeout, but for Michael Jordan, here's Tim Brand.
All right, Dick, I went over to the trainer, Mark Feil, immediately. He was the first one to get to Michael Jordan. It was a knee in that thigh. Jordan told him immediately, hey, the pain's almost all gone already. It's going to be all right. So Mark Feil walked away. The rest of it was strictly strategy in the Chicago huddle. Dick?
All right, Tim, thanks very much. A lot of people holding their breaths watching Jordan. He's got 40 points. That's his shooting by halves today. Add to that 9 rebounds and 5 assists, and it's a typical Jordan game. So where are the Jordan rules? John Sally, who's got 5 fouls, is checked in for the Pistons.
This is Jordan at 1-on-1 now.
Rodman won't give an inch. He hits the deck. So does Rodman and Lane Beer, and a foul against Detroit. It may be Rodman. And Lane Beer gets his 6th foul. It's against Lane Beer. Boy, did those 3 hit the deck hard.
Well, Rodman played him really tough. He sent them to the baseline. Michael just blew by him. Now watch how he blows by him. Here comes Lambier into your picture, see? The ref says that he was moving. He was definitely there. Now comes that unwritten rule in the NBA again. Once the player elevates, you've got to get out from underneath that basket. There will always be a no call.
No points, but 8 rebounds for Bill Laimbeer and Michael Jordan. With a chance to give the Bulls an 8-point lead.
See, Lambier's exasperated. He felt that he was there and that Michael had not elevated, but he did not get the call.
Edwards up front with Sally and Rodman, Thomas and Dumars at guard.
See, you're only down 8 here, and you have 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time. You've got to go to your strength.
Thomas. Isaiah Thomas gets 2 back. He's got 31 today.
It's like I said earlier, he feels he can take BJ anytime off the dribble and get his shot.
Thomas looking for the steal against Armstrong.
They're trying to get Michael Jordan down inside on the post-up.
8 seconds on the shot clock now. Jordan lost the ball for a second, but now the clock is running down.
3.
Jordan for 3.
Yes!
And the Chicago Bulls with a huge 9-point lead now. Sally is fouled going to the basket with 2:12 remaining.
Big foul because that's it for Grant. Now watch Michael here just take this shot, and as it splashes, he runs through, catch the motion. Yes, Michael.
Jordan has scored the last 7 points for the Bulls, and Horace Grant fouls out, having scored 10 points with 11 rebounds. A big game for Grant. Armstrong is out, replaced by John Paxson.
Excellent game for Grant. In the minutes that he played so big today.
Sally makes them both. Michael Jordan, 7 straight. Paxson has trouble. Detroit picks it up. And let's see, 10-second violation called against Chicago, so it'll be Detroit's ball anyway.
Terrific defense that time by Isaiah. Really caught Paxson off guard by coming down the floor. Zeke has not done that at all. See, he's right in his face. Now, as Paxson goes down, we know Paxson has a bad ankle. Now, there it is, an excellent move by Isaiah.
Under 2 minutes to go. Edwards. Basket good and a foul as he gets knocked down. He was double-teamed.
Chuck Daly, come on, that's excitement. Showing tremendous emotion because James Edwards was double-teamed by Neely. Now watch Neely run right at Edwards as he goes to go for the shot. Here's your double team. He got hit by 2 guys that time, Cartwright and Neely.
Only makes 1. Or only gets the basket, and it's 99-94. Does Chuck want this game or what?
Yeah, well, you got to get up here. Now, you're Chicago. Go to what's been good for you all day.
10 on the shot clock. You're looking at the game clock here in the 4th. Sally picks up Jordan on the switch. Cartwright saves it in the corner, and a new clock for the Bulls.
Now, you back it out. You back it out, and you get into your good sets. See, this is a tough matchup right here because they're flattening them out now, Dick, on the baseline.
Pistons have won 8 of the last 10 against the Bulls in the playoffs and regular season. Jordan misses. Neely right in the middle. And Pippen lays it in.
Yes!
Detroit.
What a key move by Neely on that loose ball rebound.
Only the second time in the playoffs have the Pistons given up 100 points.
All right, now here we're going to have a couple of key plays. Now this is the play that Lambier fouls out on. Rodman pushes Michael Jordan to the baseline. Now, Lambier is definitely there before Michael elevates. Tough call. 6th foul. Lambier's out. Now, with 2 seconds left, Michael comes off. He's got 1 second on his shot clock. Hits the 3 right there. Big play by Michael. Now, on this rebound, this is crucial. The shot goes up. Watch Neely underneath now. Keep this alive. And then Scottie Pippen pull it down and then goes up with his left hand. How about that? Those 3 plays will haunt Detroit if the game should end with a Chicago win.
Neely has been a big hero, but Michael Jordan is back to normal today. There's Neely. Has played a huge role in Chicago's lead to this point, and Pippen with 29 points. Score was tied at 82 with 9 minutes to go. Jordan has scored 12 of Chicago's last 19 points. See what Detroit has to answer here. Under a minute to go. Thomas. Sally tips it. Aguirre steps back for a 3 and hits it.
He's big on the wings for the 3. When he was in Dallas, he would inbound a pass, step in, get it back, and shoot a 3.
4-point game now. They're trapping Jordan, and calls a timeout. Chicago has 1 and a 20 left.
That was a smart call because they were cornered right here where the 2 lines, half court and sideline, meet.
Second timeout called by Chicago. They have 2 full left. Coming up next, 3rd round action in the Bell South Atlanta Golf Classic. Pippen will inbound with 40.3 seconds, but 17 on the shot clock, and the lead 4 points. Both teams in the penalty foul-wise.
See, with the big guys handling the ball, you do not want to come together because Detroit's quickness and their trapping ability will force you into turnover.
Here's Neely, free inside for the basket and the foul, and that'll do it.
Isn't it fitting that this guy should make the basket? And then a sensational pass by Scottie Pippen.
There it is.
Now watch to the right of your screen how there he is, Neely running. He backdoored Dennis Rodman.
Neely scored 9 points and had 9 rebounds in the clinching Game 5 against Philadelphia in the last series. Paxson is called for the foul on Thomas. You don't want to foul. The last thing you want to do if you're the Bulls is to stop the clock any way possible.
You know, the answer to that is, well, you know, Isaiah's been making the 3-point shot today. But it's like we said earlier, you very seldom ever block a shot out in that area. And all you're doing is setting yourself up for a foul. And then if the ball should go the distance and score, a possible 4-point play.
22nd timeout by Chuck Daly. Want to remind you, this series will continue Monday afternoon here on CBS. Game number 4. 3:30, make it 3 o'clock Eastern time on Monday. Now we have you totally confused. 3 o'clock Monday, we'll be here. Tomorrow, the Western game number 4 at Phoenix, 3:30.
Now, this is very important if you're Chicago. Isaiah's shooting 2. If he makes them, you're ahead by 5. Let's see what happens.
32 points for Isaiah Thomas. He's broken out in a big way today. Vinnie Johnson replaces Aguirre.
Well, they're going for the defense right now with this group. You're going to get full court pressure. Now remember, Chicago has 2 full timeouts left.
A 4-point game. And Vinnie Johnson fouls B.J. Armstrong, who has missed only one free throw throughout the entire playoffs, goes to the line, and two big ones coming up here. So we'll be with you 3 o'clock Monday right here at Chicago Stadium for Game 4 between these two teams. The basketball show begins at 2:30 Eastern Time.
In that situation, Vinnie Johnson knows that he's got to stop the clock. He went for the steal. He was trying to go for the steal first, then you foul. Make B.J. Armstrong hit the foul shots.
Only his second miss in the playoffs. 21.1 seconds remain.
But you see, he has not been to the line today, and he's a rookie in a pressure situation.
1 out of 2. Timeout. The lead is 5 for Chicago. That was the lead they had after 1 period today.
All right, let's talk now.
There's the time and there's the score. Detroit has the ball. There the timeout story. Chicago, QB, has scored 62 points in the second half. That's something they got to remember for Game 4 if they get to 4 down only 2-1.
Right, no turnovers. Let's look at the situation. You're down 6. You're Detroit. You have 1 timeout left. Mark Aguirre taking the ball out of bounds is very dangerous. A great three-point shooter. Now, if you can get a quick 2 and you think your defense can do it for you, maybe so. It doesn't look that way. Look
Thomas.
for the 3.
Jordan giving him heat on the 3, and he hits it anyway. Isaiah Thomas with 4 3-point baskets, and Chicago calls a timeout. So each team has 1 full timeout left. And this game, believe it or not, is still up for grabs.
Have a nice.
With 4 teams left in the NBA playoffs.
Now, if you're Chicago, Dick, you want the basketball in the hands of your best foul shooters. You have 1 timeout left. You're Detroit. You're putting pressure on everyone, denying the passing lanes, trying for a steal first. If not, foul, stop the clock, and force Chicago to make the foul shots.
Neely is the worst free throw shooter of the 5 out there for the Chicago Bulls. He'll inbound it. And it's off Sally. Pippen has it stripped away. And a jump ball with 10.2 seconds to go. And Detroit is in a position, if they get the ball, to try a 3 and tie this amazingly.
Absolutely. Isaiah was very, very upset because he thought they had the free ball and they could have just dribbled it right into a 3-point shot attempt. Now remember, 10 seconds to go here. Each team has 1 timeout.
Pippen and Dumars will jump. Pippen has the edge in size by about 4 inches. Controlled by Detroit. They'll call the time. Their last timeout. And now they can set up the 3-point shot to tie. That's why they're the world champion on Joe Dumars.
Yes, but watch, he's not looking when they throw it up. And Dumars steals the tap.
Detroit has hit 6 3-point baskets today. Thomas has 4, and Mark Aguirre has 2.
Now, remember, Detroit, no timeouts left. Chicago, this will be interesting. Are they going to play the guy out of bounds? Yes, Scottie Pippen is coming out here, a taller man than Aguirre. Now, everyone else defensively must be alive. Pippen laying off.
Aguirre will inbound. No more timeouts. Aguirre fires a 3, and it's off the mark. Rebound, Jordan. And they're going to foul him with 2.1, and he can nail it down with the free throws.
Now, you know, the most dangerous guy is that guy out of bounds. And that's what we just saw. When you don't play that guy out of bounds and throw it in and you use him as a double teamer, the guy stepping in is open. Aguirre was open, and he did get an excellent shot.
Aguirre had hit 2 anyway, so they had to be aware of his 3-point shooting abilities. And now Jordan will go to the line for 2 free throws. He is 9 of 11 from the line today.
That's all. See, Michael is going to get a lot of acclaim today for offensively, but defensively, he's been magnificent.
He's had some big games in the past before the Jordan rules went into effect, and he has a huge game today. And the Bulls win it, and now trail 2-1. 107-102 is the final score, and right now, here's Tim Brandt.
Michael, your reaction down the stretch. You guys played much stronger than in game 1 and 2, and you were outstanding with 30 points.
Well, we played very physical. I think our guys kept our poise. You know, Detroit made a run. We knew they would. But we did all the right things down the stretch. We hit some key shots and really went our way down the stretch.
I saw you talking to Scotty and Ed Neely and telling them all the way down the stretch, way to play harder.
We are. We must play harder. We got to have faith in ourselves. You know, I felt the last game we were kind of disunified, and we didn't do anything together. In this game, we unified ourselves and certainly played very united.
Congratulations. See you Monday. All right, Dick.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. So the Chicago Bulls come back and now trail 2-1 in the best-of-7 series. And our Miller Lite player of the game, boy, there are a lot of heroes for the Bulls today, but none better than Michael Jordan. 47 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. On his behalf, Miller Lite will donate $1,000 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. And so for Hubie Brown and Tim Brandt, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls beat the Pistons 107-102. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow with Game 4 coverage of the Western Conference Finals between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Phoenix Suns. And up next, third-round coverage of the Bell South Atlanta Golf Classic.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals has been sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft. When things heat up in the NBA, tap into the cold. The Bic Metal Shaver, it stretches your skin for a better shave. And by Plymouth and your local Plymouth dealers who invite you to test drive a Plymouth today.
Playoffs are a presentation of CBS Sports.